This semester has brought a lot of new information to the table in terms of my teaching, and I'm going to try to use this presentation to highlight some of those things. One of the most significant takeaways when it comes to teaching reading is that students need to learn how to approach literature from a critical standpoint. And it's my job to help them realize that their language and their literacy skills are actually tools that can be used to challenge the power relations of our time. Students can use their reading skills to deconstruct the canon texts that are too often accepted as the only way to see the world, and they can use those skills to reject the status quo. Even more important is that they can use their skills to create their own critical text in writing. To help students move towards success in those skill areas, I have to help them achieve metacognitive awareness. By becoming aware of their own thinking process while reading, they're learning how to become better learners, and this is ultimately going to help with the critical approach to any dominant texts. So what Keenan Zimmerman taught me this semester is that teaching reading strategies explicitly is going to allow students to communicate better and learn from each other. If they're using similar strategies like building mental images, connecting to their prior knowledge, and discussing with each other, they're helping each other succeed. I really benefited from Bazerman's ideas of expressive writing as a tool for learning. The writing process is a series of cognitive processes that aid in learning. So expressive writing can help students explore their experiences with the content to help them understand it better. Before this semester, I really couldn't put into words what I can now verbalize as process over product. When using writing as a learning tool, it's not about the final product, but more about the writing process and how it builds understanding in students and helps them connect with the content on new levels. Finally, I want to talk about vocabulary. So, teaching vocab effectively will likely always be a struggle. What I have learned from Wilhelm and class discussion is that vocabulary must be in context to be effective, and front loading is helpful, but exposure has to be repeated and in context. This is hard to do. Finally, I want to talk about vocabulary. So, teaching vocab effectively will likely always be a struggle. What I have learned from Wilhelm and class discussion is that vocabulary must be in context to be effective, and front loading is helpful, but exposure has to be repeated and in context. This is hard to do. When choosing which words to expect students to learn, I have to be picky. I have to ask myself which words are going to help them now and later. Ultimately, learning vocab has to be interesting and interactive.